Let's talk about your hourly rate, your posted labor rate. How did you get to it? How did you set it? There's a lot more to it than what you might think, and I want you to consider a few things. Most people will pick up the phone and they'll call around and they'll figure out what all the other guys are at and they'll post their rate, close to that. But your hourly labor rate says a lot more about you than what you might think. And I think it's a little overlooked decision in many service operations. Now, if you're an OE dealership, you've got a lot of other factors involved, and you'll want to talk to your factory representatives about where to set your labor rate, and they can certainly help you do that. If you're an independent repair shop, then you don't have as much help. What I'd like you to think about is it's fine to call around the area and figure out what 20 other shops in your area are offering for labor rates. But you've got to keep in mind what your labor rate says about you. Your labor rate, first of all, has got to be fair to you. You've got to be able to make money. It's okay to make money in business. You're in business to make money, and just because you may have a high posted labor rate doesn't mean you're ripping anybody off. Now, I understand many customers don't understand that, but as a business person, you should be able to come to terms with that. Your labor rate should position yourself within your market, wherever you want to be. Now, what I would suggest that you do when you're considering a change in your labor rate, or if you're opening your shop for the first time and you've got to set a labor rate, I would think about what demographic do I want to serve? What types of cars do I want to work on? And how am I going to position myself within that market? Do I want to be the cost leader, meaning the cheapest? Do I want to be the cheapest one around so that everybody flocks to me and I get any work that comes through the door? And maybe you do. There's shops out there that are like that. Maybe you want to be perceived as the high-end shop in town, and you want your posted labor rate to be higher than everybody else so that you only get people that perceive value for money when they see a really high price tag. And maybe you live in a market where you can get away with that. Maybe you've got a lot of high-end vehicles and a high-end demographic in your market, and you can get away with setting your labor rate all the way up top. Or maybe you're in a market where you want to differentiate yourself from the next person with a fancy showroom or a nice painted shop and air conditioning and drop ceiling and all that. Well, if I walk into a shop that looks like that and I see that your labor rate is below average, I might wonder, okay. If I see your average, I might go, wow, so this person is charging $80 an hour, and look at this facility. Well, Joe Smith down the street, he's charging $80 an hour, but my goodness, man, he's working out of a hole in the ground. So think about what your labor rate, along with your shop image, says about your repair service. Because customers will walk in. A Porsche customer is going to expect to pay more than, say, a Hyundai or a Kia customer. Think about what your demographic is like. Who do you hope to serve? Of that demographic, where do you want to be? Do you want to be working on newer vehicles or older vehicles, etc.? And shop the shops in your area, mystery shop the shops in your area that serve that same demographic. So in other words, don't just pick up the phone and call 20 repair shops in the area and see what they're all offering for a labor rate and then go set your labor rate. Identify the shops that serve your demographic. And you might go outside of your market area and identify those shops, and then go visit them and maybe talk to those shop owners. And if you're far enough away, they'll talk to you because you're not a direct competitor. I know a lot of markets that they'll talk to you anyway. They don't care. They got plenty of work. They'll be more than happy to help you get going. But pick shops that serve the demographic you want to serve, that send the message you want to send, and consider that in setting your labor rate. Your labor rate says way more about you than just how much you charge for labor.